Most people are living in economic slavery, trading time for money, praying for weekends, and drowning in debt they don't understand. But here's what no one told you: wealth is not earned, it is understood. The wealthy operate by a different set of principles, a code, and it's not locked away for the elite. The truth is, anyone can access it if they're willing to rewire their thinking. When it comes to building wealth and achieving true prosperity, one of the most critical mind shifts you have to make is understanding that your value, not your time, is what creates money. Most people are stuck in the old paradigm of exchanging hours for dollars. They wake up every morning, clock in at a job, and believe that the more hours they put in, the more money they will make. But here's the problem. Time is a limited resource. You only have 24 hours in a day, and no matter how hard you work, you cannot stretch those hours beyond their natural limit. If your income is tied directly to how many hours you work, your financial ceiling is capped. You are trapped in what I call the time trap. The wealthy, on the other hand, understand a very different principle. They understand that the true driver of wealth is value creation, not time spent. Wealth is a direct reflection of the value you bring into the marketplace. This is a fundamental truth that separates those who remain stuck in financial struggle from those who break free into abundance. Think about this. A doctor who spends 1 hour performing surgery creates far more value than a cashier who works an 8-hour shift. The doctor's income isn't a reflection of time, but of the value and skill brought to that single hour. This is the essence of value creation. Impact, skill, problem solving, and results matter far more than the clock. Here's why this shift is so crucial. When you link your income to your time, you are essentially selling yourself short. You become a commodity, replaceable and limited. But when you link your income to the value you create, you become unique and scalable. You start to attract opportunities and income streams that multiply beyond the hours you can physically work. Value creation begins with identifying what problem you can solve for others. Every dollar exchanged in the economy is tied to a problem being solved or a need being met. The richer you make others by solving their problems, the richer you become. This is why entrepreneurs and innovators have been the driving forces behind wealth creation throughout history. They are the people who identify gaps, craft solutions, and deliver results that people are willing to pay for, not based on hours, but based on outcomes. This principle also teaches us something important about mindset. It calls for you to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a creator, a problem solver, a value provider. Instead of asking, how many hours can I work? Ask yourself, what value can I bring that changes someone's life or business for the better? That question shifts your entire perspective and opens doors to creativity and innovation. Another powerful aspect of value creation is scalability. When you work by the hour, your earnings stop when your time stops. But when you create value through products, systems, or intellectual property, you can serve thousands, millions even, without needing to increase your hours. This is why artists, authors, software developers, and business owners who build scalable systems can generate income while they sleep. They create something once, and it continues to deliver value to many. But value creation is not just about products. It's about your mindset, your skills, and your willingness to stretch yourself beyond what you thought possible. It requires a constant commitment to growth, learning, and excellence. The marketplace rewards those who solve big problems well and consistently. Your value increases when you improve your skills, deepen your knowledge, and become a master in your field. Let me also highlight an important truth. Value creation requires courage. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone to offer something new or better. It means being willing to take risks, to fail, and to try again. Many people avoid creating value at a high level because they fear rejection or failure. But the wealthy understand that every failure is a stepping stone toward delivering more value. The bigger the value you create, the bigger the rewards. Look around at the wealthiest people in the world, and you will see this principle in action. They don't just work harder, they work smarter by creating value that others cannot easily replicate. They innovate, they solve problems on massive scales, and they leverage their skills and knowledge to build wealth that isn't limited by time. This is why investing in yourself, your knowledge, your skills, your ability to serve others, is the most important investment you can make. When you grow your capacity to create value, you grow your capacity to earn. Your time will still be limited, but your income will not be. So how do you begin to shift from selling time to creating value? Start by asking yourself, what problems am I uniquely equipped to solve? What skills do I have that others need? How can I deepen those skills to serve better? Who am I serving, and what transformation can I deliver to them? When you focus on answers to these questions, you naturally move toward value creation. Also, think about ways to package your value so that it doesn't require your constant presence. Could you create a digital product, a course, a system, or hire people to expand your impact? These are all ways to break free from the time for money trap and embrace the principle that value, not time, is the true currency of wealth. Remember, wealth is a reflection of the value you bring to the marketplace. It's not a function of how many hours you work, but how much you help others succeed, solve their problems, and meet their needs. When you shift your focus to value creation, you open the door to unlimited financial possibilities. That's the true cheat code to wealth. Money is often misunderstood. Many people see it as just paper or numbers in a bank account, something to be chased or hoarded. But when you truly understand money, you realize it's much more than that. Money is actually a certificate of service. It is proof that you have provided value to others, that you have served in a way that meets a need, solves a problem, or delivers a benefit. This shift in perspective is one of the most powerful mindsets you can adopt if you want to create lasting wealth and prosperity. When you earn money, it is because someone else has willingly exchanged their resources for what you offered. This exchange is not random or accidental. It is a direct reflection of the service you provided. Every dollar you receive is essentially a receipt, acknowledging that you have met someone's need or helped them in some way. The more valuable your service, the more certificates you receive. The less valuable, the fewer certificates come your way. This is why focusing on money alone is a flawed approach. If you only chase the dollar without thinking about the service behind it, you will struggle. Money does not come because you want it desperately. It comes because you offer something that others need and want. The better you become at serving others, the more money flows to you. It's a natural law, not a lottery. Service is the heart of every transaction. Think about the businesses and people who make the most money. They didn't just create products or services for the sake of it. They created them to solve specific problems and serve their customers' needs. A successful business owner understands that their income is directly tied to the quality and quantity of their service. If their service is excellent and impactful, customers will pay more and come back repeatedly. If the service is poor, money dries up quickly. This principle also applies to individuals in every profession. A mechanic who fixes cars well and honestly will build a loyal customer base and earn good money. A teacher who inspires and educates effectively will have a thriving career. A software developer who builds applications that improve business processes will be highly valued. In every case, the income earned reflects the service delivered. Understanding money as a certificate of service also helps you avoid a scarcity mindset. Many people believe there's only so much money to go around, so they compete and fight over resources. But when you see money as a reflection of service, you realize that the supply is unlimited. The more people you serve effectively, the more certificates you will earn. It's not about taking money from others. It's about creating more value for them so everyone wins. This mindset shifts your focus from worrying about money itself to focusing on how to serve better. It encourages you to ask important questions. How can I improve my skills? How can I better meet the needs of my customers or clients? How can I provide more value? When you invest your time and energy in becoming a better servant in the marketplace, money naturally follows as a byproduct. Another powerful aspect of this truth is that it brings purpose and meaning to your work. When you see money as a certificate of service, you recognize that your job is more than just a paycheck. It's a calling to help others, to contribute to their success and well-being. This purpose fuels motivation and fulfillment. You're no longer working just for money. You're working to serve and uplift others. Moreover, this perspective aligns with universal principles of fairness and justice. When you provide genuine value, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Money is not a reward for luck or privilege. It is a fair exchange for service rendered. If you serve well, you have the right to earn well. This understanding can empower you to confidently charge what you're worth and refuse to settle for less. Seeing money as a certificate of service also protects you from discouragement and frustration. Sometimes people feel defeated when the money doesn't come quickly or in the amounts they desire. But if you focus solely on the money, you miss the bigger picture. When you focus on serving well and consistently, the certificates will come in due season. It requires patience, perseverance, and a commitment to excellence. This mindset also explains why some people make a lot of money quickly. They have learned to serve at a high level or solve a big problem. Others struggle financially because they haven't found their unique way to serve, or they resist improving their skills and offerings. Money simply reflects your current level of service in the marketplace. When you understand money as a certificate of service, you also start to see the importance of generosity and reciprocity. The wealthy don't hoard certificates. They share them by investing in others, creating jobs, providing value that multiplies. This creates a cycle of increasing wealth for everyone involved. The more you give in service, the more you often receive back, because you build trust, relationships, and reputation. Lastly, this principle shows you that wealth building is not about greed or selfishness. It's about contribution. It's about identifying where you can meet needs and make a positive difference. When your primary focus is service, wealth becomes a natural outcome, an overflow of the impact you make in people's lives. In short, if you want to build lasting wealth, start by changing your relationship with money. Stop chasing the dollar as an end goal and start seeing it as a certificate of service, tangible proof that you have delivered value to others. When you master the art of serving, money will follow. This truth is timeless and unchanging, and it's the foundation of every successful entrepreneur, business owner, and professional who has ever achieved financial freedom. One of the most powerful principles that separate those who struggle financially from those who build lasting wealth is mastering the law of multiplication. Most people operate with a mindset that if they want more money, they must work harder, longer, or smarter in a linear fashion, one step at a time. But wealth is rarely built on a straight line. It's built exponentially through multiplication. Understanding this law is like discovering a secret multiplier button on your financial life, a button that, once pressed, allows you to grow your resources beyond what you could ever accomplish alone. The law of multiplication says this: your income and impact increase not just by adding effort, but by multiplying the assets, systems, or people that work with you. It's about turning one into many. For example, if you earn $100 an hour, working 10 hours a week nets you $1,000. But what if you could multiply yourself by hiring others, building systems, or creating products? And suddenly your earnings are no longer limited to your personal hours. The key to wealth is creating a framework where your effort is amplified and money flows in exponentially. This law is what separates the wealthy from the average worker. Wealthy people understand that they can't do it all themselves, nor should they. They leverage other people's time, their own capital, and efficient systems to multiply their income. This is why many millionaires and billionaires don't work more hours than the average person. Instead, they work smarter by leveraging multiplication. The multiplication law applies to different areas of life, but especially to money. For instance, investing is a classic example of multiplication. When you invest money, you don't just keep the principal amount. You earn returns on it, and those returns generate returns of their own. This compounding effect can turn a small amount into a fortune over time. The earlier you start, and the more you understand how to multiply your resources, the greater your wealth potential becomes. Business owners also live by this law. Instead of trading hours for dollars, they create products or services that can be sold repeatedly. They build teams to serve more customers simultaneously. They develop systems to automate processes, freeing up their time and multiplying output. When done right, a business can grow rapidly because it's no longer limited by one person's capacity. Mastering multiplication also means multiplying your knowledge and skills. Education and personal growth act as multipliers because they increase your capacity to serve and create value. When you learn something new, you don't just add it to your toolbox. You multiply your potential to generate wealth. Every new skill, relationship, or insight is a seed that can grow into multiple streams of income. The power of multiplication comes with responsibility and strategy. It's not about multiplying recklessly, but multiplying wisely. You must build strong foundations, cultivate trustworthy relationships, and develop scalable systems. When you multiply without quality or structure, you risk spreading yourself too thin or creating chaos instead of growth. Another important aspect of the law of multiplication is delegation. Many people fail to build wealth because they are unwilling to delegate or trust others. They believe that if you want something done right, you have to do it yourself. But this mindset limits growth because one person can only do so much. By trusting and empowering others, you multiply your effectiveness. You can focus on what you do best while others handle complementary tasks. This synergy creates exponential growth. Mastering multiplication also means embracing technology. In today's world, digital tools, automation, and online platforms are powerful multipliers. They allow you to reach thousands or millions of people with your message, products, or services, far beyond what you could do in person. The internet is a force multiplier for entrepreneurs and professionals who know how to harness it. Importantly, multiplication isn't just about making more money. It's about multiplying your impact and influence. Wealth built solely for personal gain is fragile and often short-lived. But when you multiply your ability to help others, to create jobs, to innovate solutions, you build a legacy that lasts. The law of multiplication creates ripple effects that benefit communities and generations. Mastering this law transforms how you view obstacles. Instead of seeing challenges as limitations, you see them as opportunities to multiply your resources creatively. If you're stuck, ask, how can I multiply what I have? Can I partner with someone? Can I create a system? Can I leverage technology or capital? This shift in thinking opens doors to creative wealth building strategies. The wealthy understand that multiplication is a mindset, a system, and a strategy all in one. It requires discipline, vision, and the willingness to invest in things beyond yourself, whether that means time, money, or relationships. When you commit to mastering this law, you step off the treadmill of working harder for every dollar and onto the path of exponential wealth. This law also protects you against burnout and financial stagnation. Instead of being limited by your own capacity, you build a structure where your income can grow continuously. It's like planting seeds in fertile soil. Your initial effort compounds, and before long, you have a flourishing garden of wealth. The greatest wealth builders in history, from inventors to entrepreneurs to investors, have all mastered this principle. They didn't just work for money. They created vehicles that multiplied their time, energy, and capital. Their secret wasn't a get-rich, quick scheme. It was a disciplined, persistent application of the law of multiplication. If you want to transform your financial life, stop thinking about working harder or longer. Start thinking about how to multiply your resources. Build systems, grow teams, invest wisely, and continuously expand your skills and reach. When you learn to multiply, you create a powerful engine of wealth that works for you, not the other way around. The law of multiplication is the true cheat code to wealth and prosperity. It unlocks doors to financial freedom that are closed to those who work only in linear terms. By mastering this law, you not only grow your income, you create lasting impact and open a legacy that extends far beyond your own efforts. Leverage is one of the most powerful concepts in wealth building, yet so many people either misunderstand it or fail to use it altogether. Leverage is the secret weapon that wealthy people use to multiply their efforts and create exponential growth. When you master leverage, you no longer have to rely solely on your own time, energy, or resources to generate income. Instead, you tap into forces that multiply your impact, allowing you to achieve far more than you could on your own. At its core, leverage means using something to gain an advantage or achieve a greater result with less effort. In the context of wealth and prosperity, leverage can take many forms, but it always involves amplifying your ability to create value. There are four main types of leverage that the wealthy use to build and sustain their wealth: time, money, systems, and people. Understanding and applying these four forms of leverage will change your financial trajectory forever. Time leverage means freeing yourself from the trap of exchanging hours for dollars. Most people work for a paycheck based on the number of hours they put in, but this severely limits their income potential. Time leverage is about finding ways to earn money even when you're not actively working. This can happen through passive income streams like investments, royalties, or automated businesses. When you use time leverage, you create value once, but it continues to produce income repeatedly, freeing you to focus on higher, high-level activities, or simply enjoy more freedom. Money leverage involves using other people's capital to grow your wealth. Wealthy people don't rely solely on their own money to build businesses or invest. They borrow, partner, or raise funds to multiply their capacity. This allows them to take advantage of opportunities that would be impossible with only their personal savings. Money leverage must be used wisely and responsibly, but when done right, it can accelerate growth and increase returns far beyond what you could achieve alone. Systems leverage refers to creating processes and structures that work for you automatically. This might include technology, software, or well-designed workflows that reduce the need for manual labor. When you build systems, your business or income-generating activity becomes more efficient and scalable. Instead of being bogged down in repetitive tasks, you can focus on strategy and growth. Systems multiply your productivity by allowing your efforts to be replicated without direct intervention. People leverage is arguably the most important and powerful form of leverage. It means building a team, creating partnerships, or delegating tasks to others. Many people struggle to build wealth because they try to do everything themselves. The wealthy understand that success is a team sport. By trusting and empowering others, you increase your capacity exponentially. People leverage also involves learning from mentors and surrounding yourself with those who can elevate your thinking and actions. Mastering leverage requires a shift in mindset. It demands that you stop believing you must do everything yourself and start thinking about how to maximize resources around you. This can be difficult because it requires trust, vulnerability, and the willingness to invest in others. But the payoff is huge. Once you leverage effectively, you multiply your results without multiplying your effort. It's also important to realize that leverage is a double-edged sword. When used poorly, it can lead to risk, debt, or loss. For example, borrowing money without a solid plan can be dangerous. Hiring the wrong people or relying on faulty systems can cause failure. So, leverage must be applied with wisdom, discernment, and a clear strategy. The people who succeed in using leverage are those who balance boldness with prudence. They take calculated risks, invest in learning, and continually optimize their resources. They don't just accumulate leverage, they master it. They understand when to step in personally and when to let their systems and teams take over. Think about the most successful entrepreneurs and investors. Rarely do you find one who built their empire alone. Instead, they leveraged capital to fund growth, systems to scale operations, time to create passive income, and people to expand their reach. This combination allowed them to grow wealth far beyond what they could have earned by working harder or longer. Leverage also changes how you view your role in business and life. Instead of being the bottleneck, you become the conductor, directing resources, managing strategy, and making high-level decisions. You multiply your impact by orchestrating efforts rather than doing all the work yourself. Many people misunderstand leverage as a shortcut or cheating the system, but leverage is simply using smart, effective strategies to create more value. It's about working smarter, not harder. The wealthy don't avoid effort. They invest their effort in areas where it yields the highest returns by leveraging everything else available to them. If you want to change your financial destiny, you must learn to build and use leverage in all four areas: time, money, systems, and people. Start small, automate a task, delegate a responsibility, seek investment opportunities, or build a relationship with a mentor. Each step builds your leverage and multiplies your potential for wealth. Ultimately, Leverage is the secret weapon because it turns limited resources into unlimited possibilities. It breaks the chains of scarcity and puts you on a path to freedom and abundance. Those who master leverage don't just survive, they thrive. They create wealth that lasts and builds legacies that impact generations. When you fully embrace leverage, you step into a new level of power. You no longer live by the clock or your bank balance alone. You live by your ability to create, multiply, and impact. That is the real cheat code to wealth and prosperity. The difference between those who achieve massive success and those who struggle endlessly often boils down to one critical factor: belief. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you believe. This simple but profound truth is a foundational principle in the journey to wealth and prosperity. Many people have goals and desires, but those alone are not enough to turn dreams into reality. What truly moves the needle is the power of belief, what you truly accept as possible, what you internalize as your truth, and how firmly you hold that conviction. Belief is the fuel that drives action, persistence, and resilience. Without belief, even the strongest desire will falter when faced with obstacles. It's belief that causes people to keep going after failure, to invest in themselves despite doubts, and to see opportunity where others see only risk. Your beliefs shape your identity, your mindset, and ultimately your results. If you believe you're worthy of wealth and success, you will find ways to achieve it. If you believe it's out of reach, no amount of wishing will change your reality. Many people confuse wanting with believing. Wanting is a surface-level desire. It's easy to say, "I want to be rich." But wanting without belief is like trying to start a fire without kindling. Belief is deep-rooted. It's the conviction in your heart and mind that something is true and attainable. This belief influences your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors, often on a subconscious level. If you don't believe you can achieve wealth, your subconscious will resist actions that could lead to it. You might procrastinate, make excuses, or avoid risks, even if you intellectually desire success. Beliefs are often formed early in life, influenced by family, culture, education, and experiences. Many people carry limiting beliefs about money and success. Ideas like money is hard to come by. Rich people are greedy, or I'm not smart enough. These beliefs act like invisible barriers that prevent progress. Recognizing and challenging these limiting beliefs is the first step to transforming your financial reality. Changing your beliefs is not always easy because they are deeply ingrained, but it is absolutely possible. One powerful way to do this is through consistent exposure to new information and role models who embody the success you seek. When you see others achieving what you want, it rewires your brain to accept that it's possible for you too. Affirmations, visualization, and deliberate mindset work also help reprogram your beliefs over time. Belief affects not only what you pursue, but how you pursue it. If you truly believe in your potential, you will invest time, money, and energy into learning, growing, and taking bold steps. You will handle setbacks as temporary and keep moving forward. On the other hand, if your belief is weak or negative, fear and doubt will control your decisions, limiting your progress and keeping you stuck in cycles of frustration. This truth is evident in the stories of every successful entrepreneur, investor, or achiever. They didn't just want success. They believed it was their destiny and right. This belief drove them to take risks, innovate, and persist when others gave up. Belief is the invisible force that turns ideas into actions and actions into results. It's also important to understand that beliefs about money are not fixed. You can develop empowering beliefs that align with your goals. For example, instead of believing I'll never be wealthy, choose to believe I have the ability and resources to create wealth. This new belief opens your mind to opportunities and solutions that were previously invisible. Belief shapes your self-image, which is a powerful determinant of success. If you see yourself as a capable, deserving person who can create wealth, you'll naturally attract and act on opportunities aligned with that identity. Conversely, if your self-image is that of someone who struggles financially, your actions will reflect that, and your results will follow suit. The principle, you don't get what you want, you get what you believe, also teaches us about the importance of aligning belief with action. Belief alone without action is ineffective, but action without belief often lacks sustainability and focus. When your belief and action are aligned, you create unstoppable momentum. This alignment requires clarity. You must know exactly what you want and truly believe in it. Ambiguous or half-hearted desires won't harness the power of belief. Clear, specific goals fuel belief because they give your mind something concrete to focus on and work toward. Furthermore, this principle highlights the necessity of inner work on mindset as a foundation for external success. Wealth building is not just about strategy, networking, or skills. It begins inside with belief. When you master your beliefs, you unlock the power to create any level of wealth and prosperity you desire. Belief also influences your emotional state. Positive beliefs about your ability to succeed generate confidence and enthusiasm, which attract resources and people who can help you. Negative beliefs breed fear, hesitation, and self-sabotage, which repel opportunities and create unnecessary struggles. In summary, the key to getting what you want is first to believe you can have it. Belief is the magnet that draws opportunities, ideas, and resources to you. It's the foundation that supports persistent action and bold decisions. If you want to change your financial life, start by examining and upgrading your beliefs about money, success, and yourself. When you believe in your worth and your potential, the universe has no choice but to respond. When it comes to building true wealth and prosperity, there is a powerful principle that many overlook. Honor God, then go get the bag. This principle is about aligning your financial pursuits with a higher purpose and moral foundation. It's not just about chasing money for money's sake. It's about recognizing that wealth is a tool, one that, when used rightly, can bring blessing, freedom, and impact to yourself and others. The first step on the path to lasting prosperity is honoring God, putting integrity, faith, and gratitude at the center of your financial journey, and then confidently pursuing your financial goals. Honoring God means recognizing that your resources, talents, and opportunities are gifts entrusted to you. It's about humility and stewardship, understanding that money isn't just something you take, but something you are responsible for managing wisely. When you honor God in your financial life, you commit to honesty, fairness, generosity, and ethical behavior. This creates a solid foundation for lasting wealth because wealth built on integrity is sustainable, while wealth built on deception or greed is unstable and often leads to downfall. Many people separate their faith from their finances, but that separation is exactly why they struggle with money. They see financial success as purely materialistic or even selfish, and believe it's at odds with spiritual principle. But the truth is, God is deeply involved in every area of your life, including your finances. When you bring God into the picture, you gain guidance, wisdom, and protection. You begin to see money not as the ultimate goal, but as a means to fulfill your purpose and serve others. Honoring God also involves gratitude. When you acknowledge God's provision and blessings, you develop a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, opening doors for more blessings to flow. This mindset attracts more opportunity and success because you're aligned with a higher frequency of faith and trust rather than fear and lack. Once you have honored God, by aligning your values, practicing integrity, and cultivating gratitude, then it's time to go get the bag. This means pursuing your financial goals boldly and unapologetically. It's about working hard, taking risks, and using your God-given talents to create wealth. The phrase, "go get the bag," isn't about greed or selfish ambition. It's about recognizing your responsibility to maximize your potential and resources. When you do this with the right heart and intention, you fulfill your divine purpose and create prosperity that blesses not only you but your community and future generations. There is a misconception that spiritual people should avoid pursuing wealth or that humility means being passive about finances. But honoring God and going after the bag are not mutually exclusive. They are two sides of the same coin. The faith to trust God and the courage to take action must work hand in hand. God honors those who honor Him and then step out in faith to seize the opportunities He provides. Moreover, honoring God before pursuing wealth protects you from common pitfalls that trap many in financial chaos. When God is at the center, you avoid unethical shortcuts, greed, driven decisions, and the stress of trying to control everything yourself. You develop patience, discipline, and resilience because you understand that prosperity is a journey, not an overnight event. When you honor God, you also become more generous. Giving back becomes a natural part of your wealth building process. Whether it's tithing, charitable giving, or helping others in need, generosity aligns you with God's principles of blessing and stewardship. Generosity opens the door for more blessings because it puts you in a position to receive grace and favor. It also creates a positive impact, turning your wealth into a legacy of good. Faith in God also empowers you to overcome fear and doubt. Financial decisions often come with uncertainty, but when you honor God, you gain confidence that you are not alone. You have divine guidance and support. This faith enables you to take calculated risks and pursue opportunities others might shy away from. The combination of faith and action is unstoppable. This principle also reminds us that money is not the ultimate source of security. True security comes from God. When you honor God first, you build a financial life that isn't shaken by market ups and downs or external circumstances. You develop a deep-rooted peace and confidence that sustains you through challenges. Many of the world's most successful people credit their faith as the foundation of their wealth. They understand that honoring God aligns their efforts with a higher power, attracting divine favor and protection. This connection strengthens their vision, sharpens their decision making, and fuels their persistence. Ultimately, the message "honor God, then go get the bag" is a call to balance spirituality and ambition. It encourages you to build wealth with integrity, purpose, and gratitude. It empowers you to pursue your financial dreams boldly while staying grounded in your values and faith. When you honor God first, you create a powerful partnership between your spiritual life and financial pursuits. This partnership leads to not just wealth, but prosperity, richness of life that includes joy, peace, influence, and the ability to bless others. It's the true cheat code to wealth and prosperity because it connects earthly success with eternal principles.